Design of the PCET calculator contains some future knowledge, such as Peter-Chew rules, Peter-Chew method, Peter-Chew theorem, Peter-Chew triangle diagram and Peter-Chew coding method, which are not covered in any higher education books today. Some future knowledge can solve some problems that cannot be solved currently. The design plan of the PCET calculator is to allow its users to obtain direct, easy, more accurate and complete solutions. PCET calculator is AI-age calculator because it has future knowledge. The Symbolab raised $1.2 million to introduce its unique mathematical search engine to smartphones and tablets. This shows that Symbolab believes that technical tools are essential to help advanced mathematics teaching and other future education trend. Symbolab can solve the calculation of the complex coefficient of the smaller value of the quadratic equation. However, Symbolab cannot solve the calculation of complex coefficients for larger values of quadratic equations. PCET calculator can solve the calculation of the complex coefficient of the smaller value of the quadratic equation. PCET calculator also can solve the calculation of complex coefficients for larger values of quadratic equations. PCET calculator can calculate any value. The PCET calculator has a complete design because it has future knowledge. Presentation Peter-Chew rule, Peter-Chew method, Peter-Chew theorem and Facilitator PCET calculator workshop at COSMT 2019 by Simo Eriksson. PCET calculator can convert all quadratic surd. PCET calculator has a complete design. Symbolab can convert a small quadratic surd value into the sum of two real numbers. Of course, PCET calculators are also available. However, for larger values, Symbolab cannot convert the quadratic surd to the sum of two real numbers. We can see that the PCET calculator can convert larger quadratic surd values. Let's look at another example, for larger values. Symbolab can convert the square root of a smaller complex value to a complex number. Of course, you can also use the PCET calculator. However, for larger values, Symbolab cannot convert the square root of a complex value to a complex number. We can see that the PCET calculator can convert the square root of a larger complex value to a complex number. Symbolab cannot convert some quadratic surds into two complex numbers. We can see that the PCET calculator can convert some quadratic surds into two complex numbers. PCET calculator can convert all quadratic surd because PCET calculator has future knowledge. MathPortal and Symbolab can solve problems that can be solved directly by sine rule or cosine rule. MathPortal and Symbolab cannot solve the problem that the sine or cosine rule cannot directly solve. Problems that cannot be directly solved by the sine or cosine rules cannot be solved by MathPortal and Symbolab. The PCET calculator can solve the mentioned problems, because the PCET calculator has future knowledge, Peter-Chew rules. Special talk speaker for Peter-Chew rule and Peter-Chew method. Best presentation award for Peter-Chew rule. Invited speaker PCET calculator. Keynote speaker for PCET calculator at keynote speaker for PCET calculator. PCET calculator can be used on PC and tablet.
PCET Calculator version 2 are adding COVID-19 related new formula. The World Health Organization (WHO) said the situation in India was a devastating reminder of what the coronavirus could do. COVID-19 cases suddenly spiked across India. Preprint study app raise public awareness of the importance of COVID-19 vaccination. 4 can visually see countries where vaccination is slow and it is difficult to control the spread of COVID-19. This is what is happening in India now. Preprint study, Vaccination Education App 1, shows that most people do not take the COVID-19 vaccine because they question the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine. Preprint study, Chew Formula for calculate COVID-19 vaccine efficiency. Create a new simple formula for calculate the efficiency of the COVID-19 vaccine. Based on considerations, some members of the public have very weak computing power or do not have enough time to perform calculations. Therefore, the new Chew formula needs to be applied to the PCET Calculator version 2. Although there are already online calculators for calculating relative risks, such as MedCalc statistical software, existing formulas require more data, and some data is difficult to obtain from public news, which makes it difficult for the public to calculate on their own. As a result, confidence in the effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccine has declined. Using the PCET calculator of Chew's formula, you can easily obtain the required data from the public news. Therefore, the public can use the PCET calculator to easily calculate the COVID-19 vaccine efficiency and confidence of the COVID-19 vaccine, and to register the vaccine. Chew formula easy to calculate, and the data required for the Chew formula calculation easy to obtain from public news. This is to ensure that the public can calculate the efficacy of the vaccine by themselves. The information on the calculation can let public compare the average target group get infected every day before and after fully vaccination is also an advantage to let public know the effectiveness of vaccination. One of the advantage of Chew formulator is that we can assume a high target population of vaccination with K equals 100, such as the medical worker group. When K equals 100, the Chew formula calculation becomes very simple. The home page of the application. The logo COVID-19 related formula has been added, and the user can go to the COVID-19 related formula page by simply pressing the logo. There will be two options on the COVID-19 related formula page: use the conventional formula to calculate the COVID-19 vaccine efficiency, or use the Chew formula to calculate the COVID-19 vaccine efficiency. Press title to get information about vaccine efficiency and relative risk. Press the buy logo to end the game. For the normal calculation page, press title to get an example. Press the PCET Calculator logo to go to homepage. After type all data, press Calculate. For the Chew formula page for calculating the efficiency of the COVID-19 vaccine, press the PCET Calculator logo to go to homepage. For the Chew formula page for calculating the efficiency of the COVID-19 vaccine, K does not equal 100. Press the PCET Calculator logo to go to homepage. Press title to get an example. After type all data, press Calculate. For the Chew formula page for calculating the efficiency of the COVID-19 vaccine, K 100. Press the PCET Calculator logo to go to homepage. Press title to get an example. After type all data, press Calculate. The advantage of Chew's formula is that we can assume a high target vaccination population with K equals 100, such as a target group of medical workers. When K equals 100, the calculation of Chew's formula is very simple: V equals B, A, B by 100%. Another advantage of Chew formula is that public can easily obtain the required data from public news, which allows the public to easily calculate on their own. As a result, confidence in the effectiveness of the COVID-19 vaccine has increased. Chew formula for calculate COVID-19 vaccine efficiency available at Research Square. Medical worker H, Index 1. Calculation formula H, Index 12. Target population age index 32. Serious illness age index 50. New England age index 106. World Health age index 155. Relative risk age index 157. The public age index 170. Safety and efficacy age index 182. The world age index 352.
Thanks for listening.